should be good on camera angles and shit, yeah. Welcome. Welcome back to the Willis Podcast. How you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm glad to see you back. I'm glad to see you are here in the space, vibing and chilling with me, your host, Danny D. Yeah, so anyway, let's get to it. Show tonight. Let me get my graphics functioning, please. Give me a second. All right. Go back there. You want down, pimp. There we go. All right. Here we go. Belief is the gift of a lie show. A lot of times we run around and we focus our beliefs on the wrong things, I think. Just my humble opinion. But I won't tell you a lie. If you look in the middle of that word, you see the word lie. What I'm challenging you to do is focus on what you know and then question what you think you know. Make sure you can verify it, at least with 3 references or resources or some form of resources that is not a colonialized version of what you think and want to say and what you want to believe. So that's the problem with belief. The word was gifted. Martin Luther says, Martin Luther from the Protestant. The Protestant Martin Luther said a lie. God will be appreciative of us telling this lie because it's a necessary lie that has to be told in order for our even existence. So it has to be the perfect lie, and God will be proud. The audacity that anything associated with anything that's in form of a God that would be a gift of a lie, tell you to believe and not know who is your God. What God did you serve? What God ever told anybody to believe any goddamn thing? They would tell you something to the words of like, search and you will find absolutes, answers, specifics, things that you say, well, I can't make that, I can't out illogic that equation because it is what the fuck it is. But the problem is people get entirely too creative with their fascinations and their damn brains and their minds. They are fascinated with their mind, fucked up mind concepts as if they're true. They only want you to believe that they're true, but they're not true. It's impossible for it to even be. Or because you want it to be true, that's why it's so fucking not true. Because it's a damn lie. You would think I'm damn frustrated. No, I'm not. I get frustrated with stupidity. I mean, it's ridiculous. You would think uh, a person with so much hell and audacity in you, you would have some solid conclusions instead of always resorting to violence and rhetoric and verbal abuse and all of these uh, uh, miscreant behaviors. See, the thing is, they got this old saying, old folks say, a hit dog a holler. Or, when you tell a person that, I don't try to hate and hurt on this show, but yet and still, the hate and hurt always comes, to my doorsteps as if I really give a shit. I don't at all. But anyway, it's just the fact, the audacity of people to think that mm, that their little thought processes of what they thought, what they perceived, what they thought was true is just specifically so ridiculous and just menial that you don't even feel like some stuff even deserves a response because it's childlike, at some point. So I refuse to even address. A lot of times, I'm gonna just let y'all leave comments like you want to, and I'm not gonna address some of them. I'm just gonna let them sit there and see how atrocious and how ridiculous people still are. Childlike, childlike people. Not from a child like mentally wanting to learn, wanting to, be something, of great standards. But yet and still, people are of a specific mediocrity and act as if and pose as if you have standards when you know it's all a lie. That's why you love belief. You don't like knowing shit. But anyway, let's get to the whip moments. First off, first whip moment. We're gonna address this one thing that people love to do: double talk as a standard. So when you simply love to throw out belief, uh, you can easily have double talk. I mean, it's in every show. It's normally the villain with the actual betrayal or the character of the double talker. He always have this sycophant made up belief as if God gave you something specifically, as if you were worthy of a gift in the first place. So that's how that mindset justifies murder, rape. It justifies all kinds of destructive, the most destructive of destructive behaviors come from justifying shit with terms like manifest destiny. That's crazy. So uh, I'm not gonna try to get too deep on you. So I just want to let you know like this: you don't even have the wherewithal to practice proper civilization, let alone saying you had the rights to burn and destroy uh, spiritual, beautiful, monumentous, the most respected monuments throughout the history of time you celebrate, but you won't admit to destroying them. You literally, it's just like when you go to an Asian restaurant or a Mexican restaurant, and you see these are good quality people that are actually citizens, and they cook great food, just from their culture because they appreciate where they're from and where they are. There are good people and good documented people that are citizens that exist in here, and they're wonderful too. And they're not racist. They've evolved. They kindly have a sit down and a conversation with you and proudly embrace the times of sharing and togetherness and triumphs that we have led ourselves above throughout the times and ages of things. People and you got to look at the common denominator in every conversation. There's always who, a Caucasian. The problem with Caucasians is you want to be the Jesus figure and the devil, the Lucifer figure. You want to be both. How about you should just mind your business because you never have been necessary? When you poke your nose into people's business, acting as if you're the all-time authoritor, and you're not. You have a knack of poking your nose in people's business. And you should mind your own goddamn business. And then you have the nerve. This is where propaganda comes in. You raise your kids horribly. You don't even raise them. You send them off to these atrocious racist schools, shit like that. Build these fucked off think tanks. And then you got people like, let's give another parable. I'm gonna go a little deeper with the parables. You get a cat like that comes from Palestine, like DJ Khaled. He's a gimmick. He overlaid by making beats and kissing ass to get and making connections, kissing ass and making connections, calling it good business and talking about he the best of what? You never spit a rhyme. You make beats. You're not a part of the culture. You're just a culture vulture. And see, and you want us to overlook it and act like that's not true. Yes, that's just what the truth is. You're not involved. You're trying to, like the Fat Joe character. You're trying to conquer. You're trying to fit yourself into somewhere you don't belong. But see, you don't even have to have that attitude, that old conquer-minded attitude. We did this, yeah. And then, I was also accused of saying, I was accused of saying black people invented everything. And you know what? That accusation is correct. It is. I need you to understand how long you've been here and how much 6,000 years you can't get shit accomplished in 6,000 years because that's as long as your existence. So when I mean what I say by you an overlay culture, that's what you are, an overlay culture. And just to prove it, here you go. Black people did invent everything. Look, there's volume 1 and 2. You should probably purchase these books. The world was black. The untold history of the world's first civilization. So if it was first, that's part 1 and 2. So if we was first, you can't be first. If we were first, you can't be the progenitor of civilization if that was already done before you. And then with your record of damn murder, like how could you even say such things? That's the when let me give you a simple version of what you call a murder cult. Murder cults take things and murder people that are in that specific region that they conquer. That's what conquest means. It's not we shake hands, you bow down, and we give you the Bible. Move along now. That's a fairy tale. When you shake a man's hand and stick a knife up his throat, you are not trustworthy. That's how that really kind of went. Or you just blow or cut his head off, cut his neck, do all of these atrocious face to face. You did these things and act as if you didn't do them. And then, for the most part, you won't even account for it. See, that's a nursery rhyme you tell you and your children. That's that. Oh, it's gonna be okay. As I said, why don't Europeans speak their mother tongue? Why don't you speak German when you come in? You're German. Why don't you speak? Well, Irish, they have been pretty fucked over, so they still love to speak their Irish, but they sound like Jamaicans too. So and then when I tell you, I say, blacks were the rulers of Europe, and all you got black daddies. I get strife for that. How? I'm just telling you the truth. Maybe you don't want to accept it. That's fine, but it will bring us closer together if you would just accept the truth. But you're so busy in being a child, insulting me. Oh, you're from Africa. You're just an African. No, actually, you're closer to African than me. European. You're what you call an offshoot. You're a mutant of an African. That's what you are. You see how close the landmass is. Do you know the even story of the Grimaldi? You should you should purchase Dr. Frances Cress Welson's work. She would tell you how the black mother saved her babies, the Grimaldi tribe, because they were pale. And she didn't kill them, they nurtured them. I digress. But you should pick up the ISIS paper. The ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welson, rest in power, great love. Mama, Big Mama, yeah, Dr. Frances Cress Welsson, a great doctor. They even have a memorial and a celebration for her, and I believe it's a college in Florida. I think it's the U, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, she's a very revered sister. And shout out to Dr. Tariq Nasheed. I mean, he is a kind of doctor on this YouTube shit, but he crazy as hell. But shout out to Tariq Nasheed for giving her flowers and making her so prevalent and where people can dignify her and not degrade her. So Dr. Frances Cress Welsson, we love you. Rest in power, sister. All praise to you for that regard. So anyway, back to it. When people tell you things like, these double talking scenarios, they're only meant to destroy. They're angry, hateful. I mean, like I say, if I'm telling a lie, look how many 12 and 15-year-old Congress people we got when they're actually in their 60s and above. Mike Johnson looks like a 12-year-old little one of them Pats. You know that Pat. You really can't tell what it is. Just a Pat. You don't know if it's Patricia or Patrick. It's just a Pat. He's a weird looking little freak show fella. So you see what I'm saying? Little sycophants like that, man. Them people are crazy. Like he cannot believe that you can take him seriously just by even looking at him. You can't even take him seriously. Anyway, the next lie that people want you to believe is when they tell you they love you. Be careful when people say that shit. Because when they throw that word around, that really means the opposite. That means they hate your fucking guts. They don't like your ass at all. They would spit on your grave, piss on it one, and if they don't get talked, they'll do the other thing too. Yeah, they like that. People like that they really, they're a piece of work. Will literally sit up in their face and tell you they love you when they would take a shit on your neck. So be careful. People can make love a dirty word. It's a non-follow througher. If I say that, I ain't gotta follow through with shit. I could just escape. It's weird. But so are people. So think about people that say shit like "I love you" or "Trust me," "Believe me." Oh, damn, boy, they some dangerous some bitches. I have entirely too many. Uh, the show ain't long enough for examples and testimonial experience I have for you. But trust and believe. One thing, you see that oxymoron there? Mm-hmm. It's some shit that people say, but what I'm telling you, I'm sincerely asking you to trust yourself. Trust and believe yourself. For real. And if you don't know how to do that, I promise you, if you just start tapping in to you specifically, strengthening that little, that people mask it with shit like faith. And if you got a faith, no, it's called intuition. It's some God-made elements that you have within you. And if you attach to the source, you feel what's good and evil. You have to strengthen that intuition, that stomach, that first mind. And when you like, oh, something going wrong, and you get, you feel it in the pit of your stomach. When you feel that shit like that, you already know that's intuition. Your first mind, it's time to go. It's time to pivot. It's time to leave some shit alone. It's time to say, you know what, my time's up. Let me get the hell on somewhere. Let me save myself. All that shit correlating and working together, that's you. That's your power stirring up because shit's about to go down. And you know how you better save yourself. I'm trying to tell you. So that's what the truth really feel like when you tap into the truth. You can't let it go once you get it because you want to sit in the bosom of truth, right? Yeah, I'm sure you do. So anyway, let's go with the show. All right. Be careful with people that tell you they love you. Trust yourself. Love yourself more than that. Because then they can't fool you. When you nurture love and appreciate yourself, when you adore yourself, can't nobody fool your ass then. Unless you allow them. You gotta let them do that shit then. But hey, next foot moment, we're gonna digress on that shit. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving forward. So here we go. All right. Woo! This is a doozy, but it's my favorite one to explain. Do as I say and not as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Boy, that's one of them that's when hypocrisy is done on display in front of your face. And that's that laughing in your face shit. That's that laughing all in your face shit right there. Yeah. Kind of like when immigrants move here and they give you your ass to kiss because they'll tell you, I'm doing better than you in your country. Huh. Look at you. You like, what you mean? Look at me. I've done well for myself in my country. But then they'll tell you it's your country. But as soon as you tell them you right, it's my no, this is my country now. I got above you. You like, who the fuck this motherfucker think you talking to? Oh man. They will live in some shit they fixed up, drive 10, 15-year-old vehicle, and wear swap meet clothes, and would tell an indigenous black American or a foundational black American, you doing better than me. You know what? That's just, I'm man, wow. Wow. See, you guys, I'm not gonna say you guys because I don't even like being derogatory to people at all, to be quite honest with you. I really prefer to keep things on the up and up. But at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta, I would be phony if I didn't tell you the truth. I would be phony if I didn't tell you what really is what. Because when you feel like you're just tired of being disrespected, you're tired of being looked down upon with people that are just as raggedy as the fucking day is long. You're like, man, I don't even want to entertain this shit. This is, I can't. It's beneath me. So I refuse. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but you got you and bet your ass you ain't better than me. I hope you understand that. And I think that's the problem. People like to play this racial playing hierarchical game is fucking over. It was never fun to play with in the first place. And it was only fun for those that still like playing it now. So that's the whole game. That's why we like, oh yeah, who gives a fuck? That shit is over. Because we say it's over. Your tricks don't, your bullshit don't work no more. So you can be as blatant racist as you want. I'll just be blatantly explanatory with the truth as I want to then. So you can keep on being you keep doing you, I keep doing me. We good. I ain't mad at you. But I'm gonna keep spitting this truth. Cause you see, like on TikTok, I'm gonna explain the book for my YouTubers, my YouTube subscribers. Let me explain. This book is called The Invention of Race in the European Middle Ages. I'm gonna do a book share on this, a very in-depth book share on this because I wanna educate the world about some things. I want to educate us all. It's better for us all to know, don't you think? See, we're tired of the hiding of knowledge and the hiding of saying and you're rewriting and putting shit out in your own goddamn verb. Shut up. Tired of your shit. Shut up. Telling shit in reverse, lying, getting other melanated people to capitulate with your ass, and then vice versa. See, check it out. I had a conversation last night with a cool ass homie named Joshua. I think his name was Joshua on TikTok. White guy from Alabama, but was very honest, very truthful. Had a conversation about the South. It was, man. I wish I got to pull them shows up. I gotta convert my TikTok shows on YouTube. I gotta focus on doing that. Uh, I will do that too. But either way, just to make a long story short, we had a good conversation because he told the truth about those real interrelationships down there. And see, people be like, "Yeah, that's why y'all be sleeping with." Oh no, no, it's first of all, we're not going to talk about how many islanders, especially the ladies, that have a very, very specific preference of white men that come from the islands. I'm not saying all, but some. A lot of, I would say, I don't know the percentages. So I don't want to give false numbers, but a lot of island women or Caribbean women and African women prefer white men. They don't prefer black men. They look down on black men. And you got some sisters right here in the United States all the same way. You think that bothers me? No, it can't possibly bother me because that lets me know we don't have nowhere near the fundamental same ideology about nothing. So I would never have a preference with a person that I gotta fight and argue with and stake my claim every fucking day over some sex. Man, please keep you and your your no goods. Nah, not to be disrespectful. Shout out to my beautiful sisters that's out here globally. We love you all. We love you all, man. I mean, even with you people that are mature enough to have, those inter interracial or those even specific intercategorial relationships when a person like a black American marries a Jamaican. It should be a beautiful union. But they have to be mature enough to say, hey, we can be honest with each other. We don't have to sit up there and put egos or classism above each other. They have to exist with each other. And so do their fucking children. So I think we need to really do a study because I can call out the truth and be correct and still not be nasty at the same time. It's up to you if you want to take offense to it. I know some people have unfriended me. I don't give a shit. That's fine. You're just sensitive. You just don't like the truth because it scars you for some fucking reason. Well, like I tell you the truth about me all the time. Do I look humiliated? Am I humiliated about um, some bullshit that I know going to my own family? No. I've been very transparent about a great deal of things. I can do that because I hold myself to a high regard. That means I've learned, I've accepted, I've had to evolve, I've had to change my way of thinking, I've had to get a better way of thinking, I've had to change my fucking mind about some things. And you know what? This is the result. You get confidence, you get awareness, you have just a few things to keep you intact. And humility is a great one. The reason why humility is such a great tool of accomplishment is simply because you can go and admit to yourself as far as when you have gave yourself a lie. You have to correct that shit. You got to go. You have to position yourself in a way mentally to say, I have to accept the truth regardless of what it is. But there also has to be an explanation for it, and there also has to be a solution. That's any equation in life. But you also can never start with a lie or what someone told you. You have to go back and get to the root of the equation. How and why did it happen in the first place? And the reason why I call some Caucasians, not all, but some fragile, is because when you tell the truth, you can see the differences in who can accept the truth and who is still stuck in la la land. You mean the made up world that they tell themselves, that type of situation. You understand what I'm saying? So when you tell yourself shit that ain't true, you get sick because you have a dis-ease. And lies give you a very sick dis-ease. But you give it to yourself because that disease, that hatred becomes, those lies become hatred and it becomes resentment. And you got all that for yourself. Not me. I ain't never done shit to you. You don't even fucking know me. I could never do anything to you because you don't know me. I ain't done nothing to you. And if you don't, I'm talking to people that want to tune in, people that want to learn something, people that want to adjust their way of thinking because, maybe I have a point. But let's get to the next moment. All right. I cannot like you and you won't know it. I cannot like you and you won't know it. That shit's comical. You ever heard of energy? You ever heard of a person that can understand how to read you because your facial features you're not even strong enough to understand the words that come out your mouth don't match your non-verbal communication. Your facial expressions, the way you move your hands, the way you fidget when you're around some people, how you orchestrate your being, how you deter, deny, you deflect, you get away. Yeah, you can't deny that shit. Yeah, that's how you know when you got a person on the ropes. That's how you know they don't like your ass. Something wrong. They gotta always fidget around you. They can't be normal. They can't relax. They always got to do something else to get you the hell away from them because they don't like you. See, what I do is I get close to, hey, you don't like me, huh? Yeah. What's wrong? What's the problem? You're inferior, you're insecure, something wrong. Your breath stink. Huh? You didn't bathe. Yeah, you got something going on. You ain't put on no deodorant either. Yeah, you just a nasty ass. That's why you don't want people around you. You got to take a shit. You've been farting. You got the bubble guts. See, it's the reason why people act the way they act. They don't know how to handle themselves. They got all of these, even fleshly, even physically, they got all these fucking problems that they created themselves. You got drunk last night. You woke up too late. You didn't iron your clothes. You went to work. You got eye boogers in your eyes, snot in your fucking nose. You got rust on your fucking teeth. Rust on your teeth. Rust, rust, rust on your fucking teeth, man. And you got a nerve to have a nasty attitude with somebody. Then you gonna go in there and drink coffee, and got a nerve to talk to people in their face. And in 15 minutes, you're gonna go smoke 2 cigarettes, come back in, get you another cup of coffee, and laugh with them. See, the only thing cop on you is in your mouth. And that shit is decay, uh, mildew. Oh my God. And you act like somebody don't smell you, see you, fucking gotta put up with you. And you delusional. You think somebody wanna put up with your stinking ass. Walk around here smelling like a sewage. Like a fucking sewage. And you just, I'm the shit. Yep. You sure smell like it. It's hard. It's hard to deal with people that's delusional like that. They just think one way and you think a whole nother. And it shows. Walk around there with this, huh, I'm the man look. It's they because they mimic their daddy, Trump. They say it's like a green fog around his funky ass. He wear diapers and shit. Be walking around smelling like perfume and shit. Like mounds of shit. They say it's like toxic walking near the motherfucker. You go, they mimic that shit. They don't give a fuck. Don't nobody smell it, but they smell it, but they like it. I guess they think that shit power or something. No, let's go to the next real moment. That shit make my stomach hurt talking about this shit. But let's be clear. The exposure, the exposures are here now. We know. All the exposures are here, man. Oh, all of these decrepit, uh, full twisted lies that's just been told so goddamn long, man. I mean, don't you want something else? Aren't you ready for something new? See, we all need to heal. Maybe we all need to just chill out. Go learn. Stop reading books that are feel good stories for you. Start learning from a different mental mindset. Start embracing empathy and sympathy, love purely. Embrace the truth, honesty, embrace integrity. Don't mask it by acting like you're doing it, and that's just not what you're doing. You're turning it into a policy. I'm telling you what you need to do personally with yourself. Fuck what people see. Be worth a damn to you. Stop lying about your bullshit historical lies. Start listening to people that got those elements, truthful elements. Not telling you what to believe, I'm telling you what you should know. Fuck your belief. It would never serve you well. It would never serve you because you will always skew it to you. That's what makes it powerful. Why don't you skew it to the truth? Pattern it, mimic it, the truth. The closer you are to the truth, the closer you are to the gods. The closer you are to your redemption, the closer you are to your divinity. But you can't do that lying and continuing to lie and spew pure hatred because it makes you feel uncomfortable in your gut. I guarantee you, if you let that hatred go, you'll be so free to learn and be the best version of yourself. That's just the truth. So let's get to the next what moment. How to make a fool. I can tell you how to make a fool. Look at Kanye West. Let him get a deal. Let him. Give him. Then give him all other kind of shit and put a whole bunch of people around him that tell him how great he is. End result, you get a fool. I ain't saying everything he did is foolish. I'm not saying everything he says is foolish. I just hate and I just despise his brand of how he is. Ugh. Anyway, next what moment? How to become a fool. Always and forever believing your own bullshit. Stop making shit up. The truth is so much stranger than fiction. You ain't got to make shit up. All you got to do is tell the truth. And if you know what the fucking truth is, you don't even have to fabricate a lie. Nothing. Just tell the truth. You'll piss enough people off, but just tell it. It's more fitting. But if you don't do that, it's your choice. See, when you're a liar, you're just taking more chances of being uh, a fabricator. You diminish your value. You diminish your credit in the world. You diminish who you are because you can't stop fucking lying. Anyway, we're gonna leave that alone. But that's how you become a fool. Thinking that you're smarter than somebody else and you're just not. You don't even have the proper elements or characteristics. If I say 5 good words like discipline, dedication, integrity, honesty, and truthfulness, that shit makes some people's stomach hurt. But if I say deceit, destroy, annihilate, conquer, kill them, everybody sees some of the motherfuckers want to say, yeah, I like all that shit. Yeah, that shit make me feel good. See, it's the opposite for me. Y'all motherfuckers ain't grown up yet. So, last whoop moment is it's always your choice. Remember, if y'all watch my shows, you go back up, I got a show called, your vices versus, your virtues. See, a lot of people love their vices because that's how they love to operate in a vengeance, in a vengeful, viceful way of living. It's called that street life, how they like to live, how they like to show you know, their ego. You understand what I'm saying? How they like to get off. But dig this. What if, what if, what if you practice being virtuous? It's more challenging. It's also more rewarding. You also get to address your mistakes and take accountability. And you also get the opportunity to move forward and figure some more shit out about yourself. But on that vicious vice train, you get to discover how much you can fuck up even further and how lower can you go. How low can you go? On that vice train low, how low can you go? Hey, dip it down low. That's basically what the fuck you doing on that vice train. But on that virtuous train, what you're participating in is how to renew yourself, how to be you, shaped better, renewed by your hands. Because you have the capabilities of doing it. You don't always have to keep listening to what your fucking mama and your daddy told you about the bullshit that they lied to you about, or whoever was the motherfucker that was, so prevalent in your life. They were full of shit because they wanted to keep your ass under control in your mind too. You weak. You are a slave. You the motherfucker that's entrapped in your own damn skin, and you the only one that see it. And I ain't talking to just white people. I'm talking to all people with that fucking mindset of conquering. It's a lot of Africans like that too. Just to set the real record straight. So anyway, That's the show tonight, my people on YouTube. We're gonna wrap a little bit on TikTok, but I hope you appreciated the show. And once again, understand two things about life. One is always your choice, and you can change that choice every day. You know why? You know why. That's my favorite part of the show. The will is yours. Take care. Be easy. But take time to nurture your mind.